Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with all the resources you need to become a successful author. You can learn more about Authors Unite and join the free community at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today I have AJ Amyx with us. He's the founder of Raging Rebel. So welcome to the show, AJ.
Thanks, brother. Excited to be here, Tyler.
Of course. Thanks for joining us, and we'll dive in. The first question I have for you, AJ, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Yeah, man, I was in Scottsdale, Arizona with a group of entrepreneurs. I think there was 5 of us, so there's 4 other people, one including myself. We're sitting in our boardroom, and Jeremy Eugene Wilson was talking about this concept of the modern day currency. And I remember he looked into every single one of our eyes and our souls that day, and he said, gentlemen, the modern day currency is trust and respect. And if you don't have trust and respect for yourself, how in the fuck can anyone else on this planet have trust and respect for you? And it was that day that I realized beyond the tactics of marketing and building a business and the hustle and the grind, everything that I was doing was to have validation, approval, trust, and respect from people outside of me. And if they would give me that validation, approval, then ultimately I'd have it for myself. And I realized that was the day that no matter what I would do until I sourced my own trust and respect, nobody outside of me was going to give it to me. And it's a reason that business felt so hard for me. That was a huge, huge message from one of my life experiences.
Yes. And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
So coming back into that conversation of that story, it's something that I've kind of said is core power. Core power is this idea where it's all about how much trust and respect you have for yourself without feeling guilt or shame. And the higher that level, the more money you're going to make, the better your clients are going to be, right? Everybody has core powers. It's at different levels. And so the game becomes about how much trust and respect are you sourcing for yourself every single day? How much core power are you generating every single day? And based upon that is what's going to resonate within the marketplace. Because ultimately, at whatever route you're creating from, it's going to disseminate through you into the content, into the marketplace, and that's going to be the people that it's going to resonate with.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Yeah. So coming into this game of core power, it's like, how do we get it? It's something that I call Thrive 5, which is every single 30 days, you have to expand your capacity with your faith, your family, your fitness, your finance, and fun in that order. Because if you have disconnection from your connection to self, your connection to source, there's no way you're going to be able to show up for your family. If you have guilt and shame for not showing up for your wife, your kids, your husband, there's no way that you're going to be able to show up powerful in business, because the law of being is the law that states that the world will give us exactly that which we are at our core. So if we're feeling like cowards in our marriage, we're going to show up and be cowards in our sales call. If we're showing up and being powerful and leading our families, we'll show up powerfully and lead our business. And so ultimately, if we can understand that if we focus on faith, family, fitness, finance, and fun, and we take all 5 of these and we tackle and expand our capacity, no right or wrong, no comparison, just whatever moves the needle for you every 30 days, ultimately you're going to be able to create more passion, more purpose, more prosperity for your life.
Yes. And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Man, if I can give myself one piece of advice, it's create whatever the fuck you want to create for what you want. Not for the validation, approval for your mother, your father, your grandparents, your best friends, but ultimately just create whatever it is that you want to create based upon what are you happy with at the end of the day. And understand that you are way more powerful than you ever know. And don't play the comparison game. The only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. And as long as you're expanding the capacity of that, dude, you're going to do totally perfect in life.
And it might tie in, but in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
And the key to happiness, I feel like, is really getting clear on what you want and going out and expressing that. I feel like so oftentimes in this game of entrepreneurship where we think that we have to have $1 million or $1 billion because it's what society has told us to do. It's what the marketplace has told us to do. It's what marketers have conditioned us to believe. But the reality, the key to happiness is being clear on what your core values are, not your mother's, your father's, society's, the culture's. What are your core values? And then walking with impeccable integrity and alignment with those core values and giving yourself the flexibility to change them when you want to change them. If you can do that, then ultimately you'll be able to experience your version of happiness, because my version is different than yours. Yours is different than the person who's listening to this. And that's the key to happiness, is allowing your soul to express through you for whatever purpose you want to create an experience on this planet.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what's the number one thing you learned from that?
It's called Your Faith is Your Fortune. It's a little bitty book. It's an older book by Neville Goddard. And it comes down to, just laws of the universe and spirituality. And the biggest thing I learned from it was the law of being. I am that I am. You are that you are. The world will give you exactly that which you are at your core. That was one of the greatest books. Still living to that book to this day. It's super transformational.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
So I was on a plane to Burbank, California from Dallas, Texas. This was in 2009, I believe, 2010. I don't remember exactly. I was listening to some type of audio book or something, and Michael Bernard Beckwith was talking. And one of the things he said is, if you see it within them, it is within you. And it was super powerful for me because I looked up to a lot of people in my industry at the time, like Frank Kern and Brendon Burchard, Tony Robbins, all these people. And I saw like their greatness in them. And it was that quote, if you can see it within them, it's within you. And it was that moment that I was like, holy shit. So if I can see the possibility of Brendan's business model, then, and it's like something that I'm excited about, then that means I have the potential, if I'm willing to put in the work, the skill sets, the perseverance, the mindsets, I have the potential to create that for myself. Because if I wouldn't be able to see it, or if I can see it, then it's within me. That was huge for me, man.
Yes, that's huge, man. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
Yeah, just website, super simple, Amyx, AMYX.com, or just connect with me on Facebook, facebook.com/AJAmyx, and feel free to shoot me a private message and get the conversation going.
Perfect, man. Thank you again for hopping on. We appreciate it.
You bet.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.